Hello and welcome to this explainer. I'm Michelle. Today we're going to talk about something that's incredibly close to my heart, navigating the sudden transition of a loved one into senior care. It's an emotionally heavy time, and trying to manage the family home on top of everything else, well, it can feel completely overwhelming. But take a deep breath. We're going to walk through this together, step by step. Oftentimes, this transition doesn't happen on a neat, predictable schedule. A brief hospital stay suddenly turns into rehab, and then that rehab turns into a permanent move to a care facility. And meanwhile, the family house is just left sitting there, completely empty. The stress of dealing with that sudden change, along with the lingering worry of the home left behind, is very real, and I want you to know it is completely valid.
So let's look at Section 1, the financial reality check and the hidden costs of an empty home.
Okay, let's dive right into this because the financial realities of a vacant property are often the very first hurdle families run into. The house, unfortunately, doesn't sell itself. An empty home still has monthly bills. You're looking at ongoing mortgage payments, homeowners insurance, property taxes, and utilities. These costs just keep coming, whether anyone is living there or not. And when you combine those carrying costs with care facility fees, which can easily hit several $1,000s a month, it can drain a family's finances way faster than anyone expects. Leaving a house vacant temporarily might seem like a good way to just, buy some time while you figure things out. But an empty home carries hidden physical risks. We're talking about vandalism, burst pipes, and even lapsed insurance if nobody is checking on the property regularly. Plus, covering the costs of an empty house quietly eats away at the exact savings meant to pay for your loved one's care. Which brings us to a really vital question. Who actually has the legal authority to sell the home if your loved one can no longer sign the documents themselves? This right here is the pivot point where so many families get stuck, and it's exactly where early planning becomes absolutely essential. The answer usually lies in a power of attorney for property. Now, this is a legal document that lets a principal, meaning your loved one, give someone else the authority to handle their money and make real estate decisions. Planning ahead with this document makes selling the home so much smoother because it allows a named agent to confidently step in and act on their behalf without a bunch of unnecessary roadblocks. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive difference between having this document and not having it. On one hand, a power of attorney allows for a fast, smooth, and cost-effective process where a named agent acts easily. But without it, you're often looking at court-appointed guardianship. That process takes real time and costs quite a bit of money. It requires filing a court petition, attending a hearing, and dealing with ongoing court oversight and reports. It just adds a tremendous amount of stress during an already really difficult season. But listen, successful transitions absolutely are possible. Take one real-world Chicago family, for example. The father had a stroke and moved into skilled nursing very suddenly. But because he had signed a simple power of attorney years earlier, his daughter was able to quickly step in, coordinate with an agent, and list the house within weeks. That single document funded 18 months of his care without her ever having to touch her own personal savings. It's a real game changer. Moving on to Section 2, Property Options and Medicaid. Navigating the complexities. Now that we understand who can act, let's look at the property itself and how this decision fits into the bigger picture. Generally, you have two main paths, selling or renting. Selling avoids those ongoing carrying costs we talked about and frees up immediate funds for care. Renting the home, alternatively, can help offset care costs with rental income while keeping the property as a long-term asset. But keep in mind, renting means managing tenants, handling repairs, and doing a lot of paperwork. That might just be too much for a family already stretched thin between hospital visits and daily responsibilities. So the crucial point is how all of this intersects with paying for care. Long-term care is expensive, and many eventually look to Medicaid for help. But Medicaid has strict rules about assets. For example, Illinois has a 5-year look-back period on asset transfers. Timing a home sale incorrectly can actually trigger penalty periods, delaying the exact benefits your family needs. This is exactly why getting professional elder law advice is so vital. An attorney can also help you understand how a home's current legal status affects the sale. It's absolutely worth looking into whether the home is held in a trust or perhaps using tools like a transfer on death instrument, often called a TODI in Illinois, which can help avoid probate altogether. Discussing these specific options with an elder law attorney can really clarify your path forward. Let's move to Section 3, Actionable Support, and look at some practical next steps. Let's turn these concepts into manageable, bite-sized actions you can take today without feeling overwhelmed. First, Locate any existing legal documents like a power of attorney, a will, or a trust. Second, assess the home's current value and condition. That's going to shape all your future decisions. And third, notify the mortgage, insurance, and tax offices about the change in occupancy. This last one is critical, folks. An empty home often needs a completely different insurance policy, and a quick phone call right now to update your provider can prevent a devastating denied claim down the road. Above all, please remember this. You do not have to figure this out alone. This situation combines grief, logistics, and financial pressure all at once. It's a lot. Give yourself permission to move at a thoughtful, steady pace. Professionals like a seniors real estate specialist, or SRES, regularly coordinate with elder law attorneys, appraisers, and move managers to carry the heavy logistical burden for you, ensuring the home gets the careful, informed handling it deserves. So, I'll leave you with this question. What is one small step you can take today to protect your family's peace of mind? Whether it's finding that paperwork or just making one phone call, you can absolutely do this. I warmly invite you to explore our free resource library for more guidance. And just as a quick reminder, this explainer is for educational purposes only, not legal or financial advice. Thank you so much for joining me today, and take care.